Kerry Packer is a legendary gambler. After inheriting a fortune, he made big bets at every casino known to man. Now, we're not talking about some loose change here and there. We're talking about millions of dollars. Let's just say Australia's most influential and wealthiest man loved to lose money. Let's check out some of his wildest gambles and his baller lifestyle. He was born in December 1937 in Sydney, Australia. He built his fortune, and by that I mean he inherited it when his father died in 1974, leaving him with a small gift of just $100 million. Despite his inheritance, Kerry became richer than most of us could ever dream of. He inherited two well-known companies, Nine Network and Australian Consolidated Press, a ski resort, diamond stores, and several coal mines. Also, a few investments in TV stations and casinos. Kerry was a gambling addict. He did crazy things such as playing £15 million at 4 roulette tables and losing it all. He also racked up $25 million at 7 blackjack tables in just 40 minutes and booked a private room at the Ritz exclusively for card games. The result? He walked out of that room £19 million poorer. It seems that being rich doesn't necessarily make you luckier. His worst losing streak came in the late 1990s when he lost $28 million. The best thing about Kerry Packer is that he was a generous guy. On one occasion, he was in such a good mood for winning $20 million that he left a $1 million tip to the MGM staff. On other occasions, he paid off the 6-figure mortgages of 2 servers. To the first waitress, he paid her mortgage because he liked her, so technically he was also the biggest simp in history. To the second waitress, however, he paid her for accidentally bumping her and making her spill a tray of drinks. One of Kerry Packer's most incredible stories was when he handed over $800,000 in chips to a croupier who was kind to him. However, the croupier explained to him that she could not accept the money because the tips were split among all the staff. That's when Kerry called the manager and told him to fire the woman, threatening that if he didn't, he would go to the competing casinos. He then handed the money to the croupier and told the manager, "Now rehire this woman immediately." That's the kind of legendary person Kerry was, a gambling addict who was a little crazy but had a big heart. Speaking of big hearts, after surviving a heart attack that left him dead for 7 whole minutes, he gave the ambulance drivers and each of the EMS workers who treated him $1 million. Another of the legendary stories about Packer says that he once shut up a Texan in the most alpha way possible. According to Mirage Resorts boss Bobby Baldwin, Packer was playing at a table when a Texan arrived and wanted to join him. The man claimed to be a big player worth $100 million. So then, Packer simply pulled out a coin out of his pocket and said, "I'll flip you for it." As a result, the Texan had no choice but to run away before he got drained. Legendary. In the mid-1990s, Kerry had just scored a big win with his polo team. So naturally, they did what any group of hungry guys would do after a match. They went to a pub to find some drinks and plenty of food. Yet there was a problem. It was late at night, so not many venues were open. Despite this, the boys found a place. But since it was too late and the kitchen was closed, they were very rudely turned away from the establishment. I'm pretty sure the guy who did that is still rolling over in his grave, especially after finding out how much Kerry spent at the other place. At the next restaurant, Kerry was given the same response, but the owner was a little more accommodating and gracious and offered to make them sandwiches with some ham he had left over. Packer was so grateful that he left a tip of £100,000. However, he had a single hilarious condition. He told the man that before depositing the check, he would have to take it to the other pub and show it to the other guy who refused to cook them a meal. That's what I call vengeance. Packer not only loved to lose his fortune gambling and spending his money on tips and sandwiches, he also had a strong addiction to smoking. So one day he paid $100,000 upfront to Las Vegas magician and hypnotist Marshall Silver to help him quit smoking. According to one of his friends, Kerry went to see the magician at the Mirage. The trick was so effective that he quit smoking for a whole 45 minutes. Among his grand adventures, he created the World Series Cricket, a professional cricket competition organized between 1977 and 1979. The competition was broadcast on his TV company, Nine Network, and it brought together the best of the best in the sport. Packer drastically changed Australian cricket and sports marketing, proving himself worthy of his father's fortune. Due to the accelerating schedule of this new format, players were forced to become full-time professionals and improve their athleticism in record time. However, no billionaire story would be complete without a few guns, because when Packer wasn't revolutionizing sport, he liked to threaten his employees. They say it is the ultimate technique for employee motivation. One day, Kerry Packer summoned TCN's head of programming, Gordon French, because he was upset about the ratings. When Gordon arrived, he reached into his drawer and pulled a magnum off the desk and pointed it directly at his head. Then he said something like, "If we don't see any improvement, son, this is how you'll end up," and clicked the trigger. As you can imagine, Gordon crapped his pants. Despite all his fits of rage and controversies, many people still remember Kerry Packer fondly, especially those who managed to pay their mortgage and put their kids through college thanks to his generosity. His million-dollar losses and huge tips made him one of the most famous gamblers in history. Please watch the next video on screen, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment about what you'd like to see next. See ya!